So really when we talk about sensuality and what we mean when we say sensuality is this ability to feel within yourself, right? And to really be able to access the full spectrum of how you feel within yourself, if that makes sense.
Totally. And it's kind of difficult to explain sensuality unless you've experienced it in its fullest, I think. Because you really do, like, how would you describe it?
I would say it's about being in the moment, being fully present, because like kind of how I was kind of saying at the beginning with like being very cerebral.
Yeah.
You're logically thinking, planning, doing, you're in the mind versus like being in the body.
Yeah.
And sensuality is really like being connected. Like, you know, when you're making love or with your partner and stuff, there's differences when your brain is in it, your mind's in it, and your mind's out of it, and you're like fully embodied and present. Like, and for women, you know, to be turned on and to be sensual with somebody and open up, it requires so much more depth than just physical touch, right? There's like an all day emotional build up, safety, like you were saying, in order to be in your own body. And then a lot of the times, like even from my own experience in my past, like there's only a correlation of sensuality being saved for when you're with somebody.
Right.
And we're not really like taught or encouraged to be celebrated by ourselves, with ourselves, unless when you're like young and you're like discovering like, oh my God, this is what an orgasm is.
Right.
And you're like, you're a vile teen, like just all in it, right? Letting loose, discovering your body, but you're just, it's a new sensation for everything, but you're not really connected to, or maybe like properly educated, unless you have somebody who really can pass down this knowledge, or you have access to the power of that. It's kind of more of like a hush hush taboo.
Totally.
You keep that to yourself. You do that in your private time. You don't really talk about it. It's kind of like embarrassing to say like, oh, I masturbate all the time. And it's just like, it's more, you can talk openly about having sex with your partner or having sex with somebody and hooking up culture, and that be like more of a celebrated thing, and even
acceptable.
And it's not even really including the sensual side of that experience. It's more like the act of doing things. Like even I remember when I was a young teenager, it's just more like, I hooked up with a guy. Like it's so exciting. And it's just like to say that I did it. And it's like this barrier that you cross of like this passage, like, oh, now I'm like becoming a woman, you know? Like, and was I really into it? Not really. Like it was more just to say I could, you know?
And like a physical, like, oh, he's hot.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it.
Yeah. You get the attention. Oh, he kissed me. And, but like, do you remember that separate, like when you really first felt like sensual and passion with somebody, like and that like, was a switching moment.
And like making love, I would say, is how people probably describe it in the more used terms.
With yourself and with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can just get off yourself and just rush to get to that feeling of having an orgasm, just to finish, just to feel that feeling, versus like going along the journey of like slowly building up and taking your time with yourself and enjoying that rise.
And I feel like energetically you sit in a different space.
Yes.
Like whether it's on your own or with a partner, I really do feel like when you're tapped in and tuned into the depths of your sensuality, energetically, you are in a different space. And again,
you're in the cosmos.
You are. It's like you're out there looking in. Yeah. And like your energy is expanded so far out into a realm that is not tangible and physical in this world. And you can, and when, if whole other thing, that when your partner can get there too.
Yeah.
And then you're in that space together. It's like you're floating through the universe. I can't even explain it in any other way.
Well, that's like tantra.
Tantra? Tantra. Yeah.
Like that's like, so that's a new interest for me in terms of just like the whole concept of it, and like just breathing with each other, just taking your time with each other, really connecting in that way.
Yeah.
And like the yin and yang energy of one another, and just experiencing these moments. It's such a profound, unique experience. Yeah. And it's, I don't know, there's so many layers and depths to it that I don't think we really realize the connection that holds to our experience of life and just living in general. and how we even experience our day to day, and then how that connection to that sensuality, mostly within ourselves, because we can't be reliant on somebody else to do that and reach that for us.
Yeah.
Will open up the gates to more creative power and knowledge
in all
within
aspects
ourselves,
of our life,
every aspect of our life, and how we show up.